All right, so here's a really great activity for doing math with your Chromebook, especially when thinking about ratios and using your own face, so making it personal to the student. So I'm going to go through this different scenario. I'm not going to go through the entire lesson. I'm going to do some of that while the video is paused, but we'll go through these steps from Eric Curts here. So it talks about how the golden ratio is 1.62 to 1. So step one, using your webcam, take a picture of yourself and insert the image into the next page. So I'm going to do that in a bit. And it says, if needed, crop and resize the image after inserting. And if I already have one, I'm able to upload that, but I'm just going to do it right from here. Use the Chrome web app called Edge, the web ruler. I've got that installed already, and if I look at that, I can just search it. I have this right here where I can measure in centimeters or inches. This could be a good way to talk about what's going to be the most accurate measurement. In this case, I'm going to be using centimeters, and then I can make it vertical as well. So that's what I'm going to be using in a little bit. And I'm going to fill in these measurements right here, and I have this nice diagram. So insert the image of your face below. I go insert, image, then camera. And we got that nice picture right there. Okay, and it looks like it kind of went off on to its own page. So I'm going to just drag that. Is it not going back up there? Well, let's just backspace a little bit. Put this page right back in here. So I could resize as needed, but first I'm going to crop it. So I get more of just my face here. And then I can resize that. All right. So I'm going to pause for a moment and get these measurements right here. All right, so I've gone ahead and filled in all my measurements. These are in millimeters for me. It only took me a few minutes, but your students might take a little bit longer. Another option that you have, instead of putting them on this document right here, if you want to teach your students some spreadsheet skills, they could do that later on. With this math, that might be easier to organize. There's my image. I'm going to go down to step 3, and I have these different ratios of comparing different parts right here. And so I'm going to see how I'm going to get them into unit rate. So I'm going to divide them and get them to something over 1. So I'm going to go ahead and do all this math really quickly and then come back. All right, so I went ahead and found the ratio for all of these different measurements. And step 4 then is to subtract them from 1.62. And in this example right here, it's saying subtract the smaller from the larger number to get a positive difference. So when you think about that, we're trying to find the absolute value of these numbers. So that's another math concept that you can take in. How far away from 0 are we? So you could take the bigger minus the smaller, or you could focus on also implementing the absolute value and introducing students to that term. So I have them all right here, and now we're going to see averages right here. So I'm going to go ahead and calculate my average, and then I'm going to let you know how far away I am from the golden ratio. All right, so I went ahead and found my averages right here, my total right here, and I did the math right here, finding that, and it turns out I am 0.31 away from the golden ratio. So that means I'm about 20% off Well, I had fun doing this activity. So much different types of math involved in here, giving you great math conversations. I would probably go ahead and take this and do some more stuff with spreadsheets on these different things, getting them to organize their data that way and be introduced to formulas. But what I would really recommend on this part right here is taking your students' averages, putting it on a spreadsheet, and then looking at it in different graphs, thinking about okay, uh, um, who was like a point in the point 0 to point 1 range, how many people were in there, what was our class average of being off of there. So a whole lot of math that you could do built into this one activity.